ranking every upcoming confirmed MCU movie by how excited I am for them. In last place, I have Thunderbolts. Now, hear me out. Even though it's in last place, I am decently excited for this movie still, and I'm hopeful that it will be good. I just feel like it has the easiest recipe to be an average and forgettable film. Like, Florence Pugh as Yelena has been incredible in every MCU project she's been in so far, like Black Widow and Hawkeye a little bit, so I can't wait to see her really be like the star of this show, because she is apparently going to be like the main Thunderbolt we are following, so that I'm super excited for. And I like these other characters. We got US Agent, who I thought was really good, Red Guardian, Ghost I thought was super underutilized in Ant-Man and the Wasp, Bucky, obviously I like him, but I feel like there's a real possibility that this movie just plays it a little bit too safe. It's like a PG-13 Suicide Squad that nobody really wants to see, and I feel like it can just be a very forgettable film, but I hope they prove me wrong. We did learn a decent amount about the story of this at Comic-Con. They revealed that all of these Thunderbolts pictured above are getting assigned to the same mission, but it's all happening separately, and it ends up being a setup. Now, obviously, that's the premise of the movie, so there's going to be more to it. They're not revealing the spoiler in the premise, so I'm hopeful it can be good, but it's just not one I'm really that excited for. On the other hand, Blade is at number 7, but for a completely different reason. It's because honestly, I really don't know if we're ever going to get this movie, even though it is officially a confirmed movie that they've been saying is coming out for years now. If we actually ever get information that they finally have a director and a script going for this movie, then my hype will finally be into full gear. But as of right now, I'm convinced Wesley Snipes is still going to be the one and only Blade we're ever going to see, at least for a long time. I hope they prove me wrong, because I feel like this cast has real potential. At number 6, we're already at movies I'm very excited for. It's Shang-Chi, Wreckage of Time, or whatever the name is for the second movie. I think we're going to get this announced at D23. Now, I am not as high on the first Shang-Chi movie as a lot of other people are, but I still really enjoy it and think it's a solid film. I love a lot of the character moments for Shang-Chi and everything with his dad, and I think the fight scenes are some of the best of the entire MCU. Plus, if he's going to be a big focus in the next Avengers movies, I think it's crucial that we get this film out by like 2025 so we can learn a little bit more about this character before we see him thrown up into a huge team-up movie. At number 5, I have Avengers Secret Wars. Like I said, I'm obviously excited about this movie. Let me explain myself why it's down at number 5 though. The reason being is that this feels like it has a 90% chance of just being an absolute nostalgia cameo fest mess of a movie with like hundreds of characters battling, and it's just going to be borderline incoherent at times. But at the same time, I am a fan of the Marvel movies. I am going to fall for the nostalgia bait. It's going to be an absolute event in cinemas, seeing all these different characters come back and different multiversal versions. Even if it's kind of garbage, I'm going to eat it up. And like I said, at the very least, it's going to be like an endgame level event where in theaters it is just a mind-blowing 10 out of 10 experience, and when you watch it at home it's never going to quite hit the same, but that doesn't really matter. It has its purpose of being a huge event film, and hopefully will set up the future of the MCU in a really positive direction. And even though I don't think it's as likely, there is definitely a chance that they actually make an absolute banger of a movie that truly is a masterpiece featuring all these different characters. Like, the Russo brothers are back for this, and they know how to handle a lot of characters. They've shown with the Avengers movies. At number 4, I have Captain America Brave New World. Now, calm down before you see this over Avengers Secret Wars. First of all, this is coming out sooner, so I am definitely excited to see this, as this is the next MCU film. But we also got tons of amazing information about this movie at San Diego Comic-Con that just got completely overshadowed by the Avengers announcement, but I feel like a lot of people really missed it. First of all, they were comparing the theme and tone of this movie to Captain America the Winter Soldier, dealing with that more political thriller kind of style of movie, which I absolutely love, and I cannot wait to see Harrison Ford as the Red Hulk in this. You know, Giancarlo Esposito is now going to be the king of the Serpent Society, which Kevin Feige has wanted in a Captain America movie ever since Civil War, but they ended up going with that Civil War storyline instead of Serpent Society, so it seems like we're finally going to get it, and I cannot wait for that. I also know that the Celestials from Eternals are going to play a huge role in this because they're going to be made of adamantium, which if you don't know, it's what Wolverine's claws are made of pretty much, and his skeleton. It's stronger than vibranium. It's going to be the most valuable resource on Earth, and I'm sure that's going to be a lot of the cause of the political divide in this movie, is who gets the rights to the adamantium that's now on Earth. All of this with Sam Wilson finally getting to shine as Captain America, because yes, we did get the Captain America and Winter Soldier show, but this is the first time in a movie. I cannot wait to see it. At number 3, I have the Fantastic Four First Steps, which I'm not going to lie, I think this new title is kind of dumb to add First Steps on, especially since it's not an origin story for these characters. Like, if just Fantastic Four would have been so much cleaner, but it doesn't take away from my hype for the actual movie itself. These are some of the most iconic Marvel characters of all time, and I think they did an amazing job with the casting, and plus they deserve an amazing movie because those first Fantastic Four films are just not it. We know the movie is also going to be taking place in a alternate universe that's going to be like a retro but still futuristic 1960s New York, which is just going to be so cool to see, and things like the Fantastic Car are going to be in the movie. If you're already not excited for this movie, we can actually assume now that this is going to be the universe that Doctor Doom is from, so we're probably going to get our first look at him in the post-credit scene. I cannot wait for this thing. Speaking of the devil, I have Avengers Doomsday at number 2. I feel like this can be truly the next Infinity War movie. And that's really what I'm hoping they do. Have this be a huge focus on Doctor Doom, how this version of whatever Robert Downey Jr. is playing, if he's Tony Stark that takes up the name Victor Von Doom, or however that happens, explain it all in this movie. Just give me like 3 hours focusing mostly on Doctor Doom battling the Fantastic Four and then him deciding, hey, I need to protect my planet, and the best way to do that is by killing the multiverse because he thinks they're a threat. Like I mentioned in my other video, I think this movie is going to end with him deleting all the different multiverses and bringing them all into his universe. Is going to be an absolutely insane ending if that's what they do. I know people are concerned about Robert Downey Jr. being cast as him, but hear me out. He literally was incredible as Iron Man for so many years, left to go to Oppenheimer, won an Oscar, and now he's back in the MCU. This is a very talented actor. He can come in and give us a completely transformative performance that's nothing like the Tony Stark he played for so many years in the MCU, and I think he can do an amazing job. Plus, he originally auditioned for Doctor Doom back in 2005. This is a full circle moment, and I cannot wait to see it. But number 1 for me is Spider-Man 4. Now, we don't know anything about this besides they're going to try to start filming later this year. I really hope they keep this a street-level movie, just have Spider-Man. And then I think they should bring in any 2 of these villains and antagonists. I think Kingpin should definitely be in the movie no matter what, and then maybe Scorpion or Black Cat kind of working under Kingpin. Or honestly, I don't even care. Throw in all 3. As long as you keep it with all these more street-level villains, I think it's going to be absolutely incredible. I just hope they don't undo the ending of Spider-Man No Way Home immediately and have like his Zendaya as MJ somehow immediately remember who he is. Because we got at least one movie where he's going to be all on his own. Who knows what they could do? He could get the symbiote. Maybe he meets Gwen Stacy. There's so many potential opportunities for this movie, but I am absolutely hyped to see what they do with it.